we've got a lot going on here. This piece could be whole. Gotta be extremely careful with this. These are fragile. Let's see here. Here we go. It's whole. I'm at the ghost town of Everest, North Dakota, just south of Castleton. This town boomed in the 1880s and burned in 1886, but I've got permission to excavate the grounds near where the original businesses once stood in search of artifacts. I'll take a walk around and see what's going on. This was the business district. It's hard to believe there were stores, hotels, saloons, a blacksmith shop. It's right here, and down here I probed something out with a 4-foot probe rod, hit some stove ashes and glass. That's a good indicator of an early site, and it's right out back where I figured the hotel was. We'll get this thing opened up. I think we found the old cistern. We noticed a bunch of tan bricks coming up and saw they were in this kind of oval shape. It's the early brick. I'd put this at the 1870s, 1880s, so I'm guessing this is a cistern for the original structure. I hit some glass and ash further down, so we'll keep going. We're getting into some kind of trash layer. There's all kinds of pieces. Looks like some tooled top stuff. I think I might know what this is. What's going on? U.S. Horseradish Company, Saginaw, Michigan. That's a tooled top, circa 1905. That looks like some kind of jar. What do we have here? It's a ground lip. Again, it's at the turn of the century era. Would have had a glass lid on it back in the day, likely. Looks like some kind of liquor bottle. The Haynard Distilling Company, Dayton, St. Louis, Atlanta, and St. Paul. I dig a lot of these in saloon related pits. This was a mail order liquor type bottle. Would have had just standard whiskey in it. Some kind of a maybe ointment jar, Vaseline, something along those lines. This is machine made. It's a threaded top. Would have had a paper label on it. It has a nice shape. It's a food product. Tooled top. This would have held capers, pickles, some kind of preserves. Down almost 5 feet. We're hitting a ton of early glass, some applied top stuff. We might have a soda. This could be something. Top's knocked off. William Aylmer, Fargo, Dakota Territory. This is a holy grail. This is one of the earliest sodas in the Red River Valley in the state. Well, what else do we have? Looks like some kind of apothecary piece. It's almost looks like an applied top. I think it's tooled though. It's early. This is, again, Dakota Territory era. I'm blown away. Now, looks like a Blake style. We've got a made by the Whittle Tatum Company. G.W. Bodle Druggist, Castleton, Dakota Territory. 2 territory bottles so far. This is insane. Ow. What do we have? Slick. These Philadelphia ovals usually aren't embossed around here. Well, it's getting late. It's gonna get dark. I don't want to risk breaking anything. We'll have to come back tomorrow. We made it back out and got the pit uncovered. We've got a long ways to go though, and there's rain in the forecast. So I'll climb down there and get started. First finds of the day. Looks like we're finding all kinds of stove parts. This, I believe, is a lamp burner of some sort. It's definitely brass. You can see the green corrosion on it. And some kind of bottle. Looks like a prescription. Let's see here. All kinds of early stuff. Whiskeys, beers. Getting into some kind of trash layer. I don't want to break anything. This is all just kind of wedged in here. All right, looks like an ammonia bottle. No embossing, great age to it though. Early tooled top piece. We're off to a good start. I've been finding all these stove pieces and finally got something with some markings. It looks like it says Burdette. This is an incredibly early piece. Everything I've found has been super ornate. I'm guessing 1870s or 80s. But down here, we've got all kinds of stuff. I saw some embossing on this one, although this has got me wondering, it's an earlier style iron. It's a pre-cold handle. So you'd have the handle mounted, and this depth has kept the wooden handle intact. That's not seen very often. Now for the embossed bottle. Let's see. What do we have? GW Bottle Druggist, Castleton, Dakota Territory. So, well, this is the second one of these now. This is an extreme holy grail. This is no doubt 1880s of Blake style. It's just this trash layer here. We're at bottom and there's all kinds of stuff here. Let's see. Got some kind of a little champagne bottle. It's a turn mold applied top. Could be English made. Some kind of little three-piece mold, apothecary type bottle. It's again solid 1870s, 1880s. There's some kind of a short-collared beer sticking out, and a little ink. No embossing on it. These are usually Carter's or Sanford's, though. It's a tooled top. Now this could really be something here. It's an early bottle. Wow, look at that thing. This is amazing. It's I think some kind of turn mold, sharp collared, applied top beer. No embossing. It would have had a paper label, but this is what the original Budweiser bottles looked like. This is day one of settlement around this part of the country. I'm blown away, you guys. There's another Castleton, Dakota Territory bottle here, and another Blake style. I'm guessing there it is. GW Bottle Druggist, Castleton, Dakota Territory. This has been an excavation of monumental proportions. There's only been a few of these found ever. Now, let's see. Carefully. There it is, it's intact. We've got 4 of these now. I want to say there was only 3 of these known prior. This is an unforgettable dig. I'm nearly in disbelief. We have 3 soda bottles on the way out. With this era, I'm assuming they're all Hutchinson. We've been finding fragments. Tops knocked off. So William Aylmer, Fargo, Dakota Territory, another holy grail. The top must have broke, so they've just chucked it instead of returning it for the deposit. This one just kind of rolled out here. Let's see. It's intact. It's intact. William Aylmer, Fargo, Dakota territory. This is one of the greatest bottles I've ever dug. Look at the color of this thing. It's intact. It's unembossed, but yeah, it's got a blank slug plate. Would have had a paper label. Very likely was from William Eilemer's Bottling Works. It's all finished up. This is one of the greatest excavations I've been on. Got a variety of stuff. It's all incredibly early beer, champagne, ammonia, some food bottles, liquor flask, the Dakota Territory sodas and drugstore bottles, a horseradish bottle of some sort. This is one for the books. We'll get this thing filled back in. This was once Main Street. There's not much left now, but back in the day there was a hotel, a boarding house, saloons, a blacksmith shop, and some stores. The site has some incredible potential. I'm towards the back of the lot where I believe the hotel once stood. If you look close, you'll see I kicked some marks in the ground. These show the area we'll be digging. I pushed a probe rod through the ground. I felt some stove ashes and glass. That's a good indicator of an early site. We'll get this thing opened up. I think we're in the hotel pit. Everything I've been finding has been 1880s era, just fragments so far, but looks like we have a mineral water bottle exposed here. These were generally made overseas in Prussia, which is now Germany. Now, let's see if I can get this thing out. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's got a stamp on it. J. Frederick Gross Carbon Frankfurt. Okay, so that's amazing. Look at that stamp. Like I mentioned, these were made overseas. This was definitely a Prussian thing. Frankfurt, that's now part of Germany. Looks like some kind of a wine bottle, maybe a hock wine. This pit seems to be loaded. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. It's got an applied top. That's really something. It's a hock wine bottle. I'd put this at about 1885. Like a liquor flask. Oh yeah, this is an earlier one. It's a shoe fly bottle. Yeah, this is solid 1880s. That's a tooled top. Let's see here. Oh yeah, an applied top wine. That's got a really nice kind of blue aqua color to it. Usually they're green. This one's a turn mold. Looks like some kind of a coffee pot. That's cool. This is right out of the hotel. They were sure serving coffee beverages in this thing 140 so years ago. This pit seems loaded. Looks like there's all kinds of whole pieces here. I can barely get my trowel through the ground. What do we have here? Oh wow, it's a Philadelphia oval style prescription bottle. Yeah, that's solid 1880s. It's a tooled top. And all this ironstone. I'm certain this is the hotel pit. What's this thing? Huh. I don't know if I've seen one of these. It's got some strange embossing on it. Doctor. I couldn't even tell you. It might be in a different language. Look at that. Almost, it looks foreign. It's hard to say for sure. But, yeah, that's again, great age. That's an 80s bottle. I might have a big prescription bottle here. Oh, there's more. Oh yeah. Wow. I'm blown away. Look at that thing. That's a 16 ounce. I wish this thing had been embossed. Would have had a paper label. If it had been embossed, would have had lettering down here. But again, this is great age, pre-fire of 1886 for sure. Wow. Let's see here. They're kind of all intertwined, so I don't want to break anything. This one looks like it's damaged on the base. Yeah, it's a Blake style. Broken toiletry. Looks like this one might be intact. Ah, another blank. Okay, this one's made by the McCully Glass Company. It's another prescription bottle. Would have had a paper label on the front. All right. And another. This is some amazing age for the Dakotas. This one's just got a T on the bottom. And another prescription drugstore bottle. Still has some contents in it, it looks like. Oh yeah. Look at all this ironstone. So this is hotelware. This is a Powell and Bishop. You notice the black stamping on that. They've switched to blue, it seems, right around the turn of the century. And it's just a standard dinner plate. What's going on here? Another one of these little prescription bottles. It's a Philadelphia oval style. It's got a T on the bottom and no other embossing. Again, would have had a paper label on the front. We've got a lot going on here. This piece could be whole, and it looks like we have an extremely early liquor flask down here. Wow. Look at that, it's like a pocket size. This is a true coffin whiskey. Some folks call them a knife edge. So I dig these shoot fly bottles all the time. The difference is these edges come to a point. That's an early manufacturing process. I'd put this thing at about 1880. Gotta be extremely careful with this. These are fragile. Let's see here. Here we go. Oh, it's whole. Look at that. Whoa. I think this is one of the earlier Red Wing stoneware pieces. That's amazing. Looks like some kind of paneled bottle. What do we have here? It's paneled. Ayers. Compound extract, sarsaparilla. Lowell, Massachusetts, USA. Wow, that's an early patent med. It's actually got a tooled top, but I find these all the time in territory era pits. Philadelphia oval style. No embossing, no glass company marks. Again, circa 1880s. Looks like a prescription bottle. It'd be a French square style. No embossing. That is so early. You'll see some color change down here. I think we're in an old outhouse pit. This was no doubt one of the first pieces thrown in it, full of groundwater, it looks like. Here's the hull. This was a great example of a Pioneer era hotel pit. Got a decent variety. Red Wing crock, that was no doubt the best find. A couple wine bottles, a mineral water, a medicine, some drugstore bottles, a couple liquor flasks, a bunch of broken ironstone china, and that coffee pot. Well, there you have it. We'll get this thing filled back in.